Abby. Oh, no one me harder.
Tacos?
What the fuck?
The fuck? What time is it? What day is it?
Oh, fuck.
Huh?
We've been asleep for 2 weeks.
Fuck! Fucking COVID! Fuck.
Oh, God damn it.
Hold on, I gotta make coffee so I can poop.
Where's my fucking pants?
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, God damn it.
I'm making coffee.
Oh, God. I think we missed the whole fucking basho.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Here, let me put natto on.
Natto? Put it on natto.
Okay, natto sumo channel. Uh-oh.
Huh?
Holy shit.
What?
There's no natto.
What?
There's no natto sumo. What the fuck? What happened to his channel?
The fuck is natto?
Jesus fucking Christ. Goddamn NHK. All right.
Wait,
let's
there it is.
do
Natto 2.
Kintama.
Natto 2.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Well,
Damn, Natto 2 only has the last few days. Fuck.
Kintamiyama.
Kintaniyama.
Put that shit
Okay,
on.
here we go. All right. Where's the coffee? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened.
Fucking goddamn hippies gave us COVID.
Well, you were the one that wanted to do the quickie in the Sprouts bathroom. You know they don't get fucking vaccinated.
I apparently don't wash their hands either.
Apparently. All right. Come on, let's start this shit.
Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx. Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx, Sumo Punx.
This is Matt, and my worst COVID symptom was being so congested that I completely lost my sense of smell, and it made everything taste like really weird or just kind of like mush.
And this is Sabrina. And my worst COVID symptom was extreme anhedonia, which is the complete lack of the ability to experience joy.
And this is Sumo Punx.
Do you really need a sense of smell, though? I mean, there's so much shit out there, sometimes literal shit,
But
that you don't necessarily want to smell.
Yeah, but tacos.
Oh, true. That is a very good point.
So we had COVID and it fucking sucked.
We both had our birthdays while we had COVID.
Yeah, no, I got my birthday is January 9th. And
I'm not telling you when my birthday is. You're just going to have to guess.
So whenever we had whenever the Basho was starting, that was like, to me, it was like January the 8th. What was that? The Saturday, January 8th. And then my birthday was
The 8th. That's when we both tested positive.
And then at 2:05 in the morning, which is, my actual date of birth, there I was with fucking COVID. I felt miserable.
For your time of birth, yeah.
Yeah, I was a dried out turd on a bad stretch of road.
Dude, I sweat so fucking much that first 3 days or so that you could have just filled a bathtub with my sweat. I could have bottled that shit and sold it on the internet if I had been in my right mind.
It was funky.
I've never felt that kind of just complete inability to give a fuck about anything before. It was like instant NPC mode, I have no feelings, I have no thoughts of my own. It literally zombifies you. It's like a cordyceps mushroom or something.
Yeah.
It just takes over your fucking brain.
I didn't have anything to take over. I was just kind of
We didn't actually get it from banging in the Sprouts bathroom, by the way.
if only.
Man, I'm so glad that shit's over. Even though we still have like residual symptoms, like I'm still congested.
I have like horrible fatigue, like really bad muscle fatigue. And
Get your fucking shots. Stay masked up when you're in public. People like me who have immune disorders suffer it far worse than healthy people do.
yeah, it's been over 2 weeks and she's still kind of snorking around.
Well, you tested negative before I did.
Yeah.
About, what was it, like 3 or 4 days before I did?
Yeah, you had it for a full 2 weeks.
I had it for a full ass 2 weeks.
Yeah,
That
I
shit
had 10
sucked.
days.
Anyway, enough complaining about our lives.
Yeah.
For the last 2 weeks.
So the
or
only thing that sucked about it though was like, our birthdays.
Well, that wasn't the only thing.
Yeah.
That wasn't the only thing that sucked. But yeah, it did suck that our birthdays happened during the one time we get COVID in the last 3 fucking years.
3 years, avoided it. And then I had to turn 41, like being gross and snotty.
Yeah, and I had to
Oh,
turn
damn.
39.
See, you're still in your 30s. All right, so
Okay.
we're kind of like dazed. We're going about this and very much we're just drunkenly stumbling, but we're not drunk.
We're COVID drunk.
We're COVID drunk. We're COVID
Yes,
stumbling.
we're
but, yeah.
inebriated by virus. Sure.
It made me really fucking dumb. I don't know how it did that and why it does that. It attacked me neurologically, and I'm just chronically
It
dumb.
does that to people
from now on.
Try not to catch it again, because then you'll get the long COVID, and then you're
be
done for.
incredibly dumb. Anyway,
Dumber.
dumber. So now that we have that off of our chest, it's time to jump into the thing that brings
Unlike
us
the phlegm.
so much joy. Yeah, the phlegm was
Oh,
horrible.
the upcoming events?
The upcoming events. It's sumo was one of the only things that kept me afloat. I would wake up and I had to miss work and it sucked, so I would turn sumo on. And for that little bit of time that I was watching the Basho, I was okay.
I couldn't even pay attention. I couldn't even pay attention to the Basho the whole time.
There was lots of good
I
shit.
have no attention span.
Well, we'll get to that good shit because we had to cram the Basho after like our brains cleared up. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, the upcoming sumo events that we have in the realm of amateur sumo. January 28th, Dallas Sumo Club demo at the Otaku Lunar New Year's Food Festival. The festival runs from noon to 10 p.m. at Asia Times Square in Grand Prairie, Texas. Really, you can just Google Asia Times Square and find it. It's pretty easy. Dallas Sumo Club will be there doing demos throughout the day, so come say hi if you're in the area and come kick our ass in the dojo. It'll be
Sure.
fun. Yeah.
I'm going to try to be there, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not that far away.
No, it's not that far at all.
I'm still just like consistently exhausted from
Yeah.
the ordeal we were just through, but who knows? Maybe going out will be good for me.
Get some fresh air.
Sure.
February 11th, Mighty Eagle Teams Tournament hosted by Mighty Eagle Sumo Club in San Antonio, Texas. 3-on-3 teams, club versus club, or get together 2 of your friends to join you and form your own sumo team. It's going to be a whole hell of a lot of fun, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to slap someone's fat.
Yeah, well, if we can afford it.
Yeah. Hey, we get paid on the 9th, though.
Oh, yeah.
February 25th, the SoCal Sumo Open Tournament hosted by Hono Sumo in San Diego, California. Adults, kids, and teams divisions. You could look up Hono Sumo on Instagram, get more information about that. I really wish we could go, but yeah, having COVID
That's
fucked
a
up
little
our finances.
too far away. But we did recently get to sit down for an interview with JJ and Christina from Honu Sumo, which should be coming out after this episode.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for that.
March 11th, the 2023 U.S. National Sumo Championships. This is the qualifier for the 2023 World Championships in Japan and the World Combat Games in Riyadh. And then March 25th, the Kuma Sumo Bash, hosted by Antioch Sumo Bears of Antioch High School. Junior men and women's divisions, ages 13 through 18, along with a demonstration and instruction at Antioch High School in Antioch, Tennessee. And if you want to track any of these upcoming events all in one convenient place, go to sumo411.com. It's ran by Kellyanne Ball of Yamamoto Sumo Dojo in LA, and it keeps track of everything.
Everything amateur sumo related.
Yeah. We're a movement now, damn it. We're a thing.
Yeah.
Amateur
taking over
fucking
the world. Woo. Okay. Now for the Hatsu Basho, which we actually did do a speed run of this past couple of days.
So
literally yesterday and today.
I watched the whole fucking thing, and I would, since there was a few times where I didn't have to work, so I would stay up late. And I got to chat around with Sumo Mainichi, whenever they did Juryo. It was really cool to tune into Salt City Sumo because Corey and Siggy were on there doing commentary. Mm-hmm. And that was really fucking cool.
And Okami-san of Dallas Sumo Club.
Yeah. But yeah, that was really fucking cool. And I'm just loving that, the amateur sumo world and the pro sumo fandom, was all kind of coming together and making these like badass like online events happen. I mean, that if that's one thing that COVID did that was positive, it was to show everybody that we can get together like on Zoom or fucking Skype or whatever.
We live in the future. We have so much modern technology at our disposal.
And we could all just sit together and watch the fucking Basho and like talk shit. And
unless our YouTube channels get sucked because NHK hates competition.
Motherfuckers, food eaters. Anyway, so we're going to cover the 2023 Hatsu Basho. It was a wild fucking tournament.
Let's start with Juryo. Everybody's talking about the return of Asano Yama, who of course absolutely slayed in Juryo.
And totally just fucking won the Juryo Yusho.
Well, yeah, that's what I meant by slaying.
Yeah. And then my son, Atami Fuji, had to withdraw. Aww. I think, was it a shoulder injury?
Something like that. He was on the verge of Makikoshi.
I think, and then I think with the absence, that was a Makikoshi.
Yeah. There were actually a lot of withdrawals this Basho. Of course, Teruno Fuji and Ichinojo withdrew from the Basho on day one. Teruno Fuji probably still recovering from his double knee surgery, whereas Ichinojo was pretty much forced to withdraw.
He got suspended.
Yeah, it had come to light that he had...
He broke COVID protocols while being drunk as hell.
Yeah, basically. So, I mean, there could have been other reasons why he was forced to withdraw as well, but that's the only one that we know of for sure was breaking the COVID protocols. Then on day 5, Tochinoshin had to withdraw after getting his arm completely wrecked by Koto Shoho.
Yeah, that was brutal.
It kind of looked like maybe he got his arm pulled out of the socket, his shoulder was dislocated or some shit.
Whenever he was walking down the Hanamichi, the way he was holding his arm, that was fucking the fuck located.
He was like kind of holding it when he was still up on the dojo too. He did not look happy. Then day 6, we had Okinoumi withdraw and immediately announce his retirement.
I know! He was been like a mainstay of like Makuuchi for like, I don't know how long. I think it's like, he had like the longest stint of staying in Makuuchi without being busted down to Juryo, like in modern times or something to that effect.
I think it was a good call though, because he just had 5 losses in a row. So him thinking, you know what, this is a good time to retire is probably
instead of going down to
Juryo
him
than staying in this one.
He quit while he was ahead, and he's gonna be a oyakata. I can't remember his oyakata name, but he's gonna stay involved in sumo. And I've always liked Okinoumi. I always felt comforted by his presence whenever he was around, and he's a guy.
At least we still have Sadanoumi.
We still have Radanoumi.
Yeah.
We do.
Then day 6. We had Takayasu withdraw. Apparently he had some sort of bone bruise or something.
It was a contusion on his tibia.
That's essentially the same thing, using different words, yes. But really, he only had 1 win by that point himself, so...
Yeah, the guy needed a break, man. He had his dreams crushed, 2 tournaments in a row.
And it's been happening a lot, for sure. Then day 10, Hoshoryu withdrew for a day, only to return on day 11. From what I had heard, it was something to do with his knee or his ankle or something like that. Maybe he just wanted to take a cheeky little break. Who knows? But he didn't do too bad when he got back. I think he ended with at least his Kachikoshi.
I thought he got a Makikoshi. Oh, no, he did get his Kachikoshi,
We'll
remember?
talk about that later.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about that later, because that was a little bit
That was
controversial.
some shit.
Also, lots of fucking blood this Basho.
Lots of blood.
Everybody was getting their fucking face smashed in. Yeah. Especially Takakeisho.
Takakeisho and Koto Shoho. And
happening to him a few times, yeah.
Yeah, lots of bloody noses, bloody lips. And a lot of had Takakomis. It's kind of weird. A few of the lower Maegashira Rikishi who did surprisingly well during the first half of the Basho were Big Dan, Aoyama, Azumaryu, and Onosho. By day 8, mid-Basho, they were all at 6-2, trailing Takakeisho, the sole leader at 7-1.
And Onosho actually got a Junisho.
Yeah! On the last day of the tournament, we had 8 Rikishi at Nanasho Nanahai, 7-7.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly half of those actually ended up getting their Kachikoshi.
Of course, one of those being the controversial Hoshoryu one, which we will talk about later. But day 1 at the Kokugi-Con was actually quite exciting. It was packed in there with like screaming fans.
It was cool because they could be loud again. They could scream.
Exactly. From what I saw, most of them were wearing masks, at least partially, because for whatever fucking reason, some people still seem to think that your nose doesn't count when exhaling virus-laden particles.
I mean, they were just probably wearing it just to say they were wearing it.
Yeah. But you could definitely tell that the strong zero was flowing freely as the fans geared up for a new year of sumo.
Oh, seriously. It was great watching the fans in this one because they were like having all kinds of weird signs and the signs.
Oh, the signs were great this Basho.
Like the ones with Ura, where it was just his smiling face. It's just like their bust. It's just like their shoulders and their big smiling faces. Like there's a Wakamoto Haru. But the Ura one was the greatest.
There was the one with all the tinsel. I can't remember. I want to say it was like Takara Fuji or someone.
Yeah.
The tinsel and the glitter. There was the lady with like the digital like scroll.
Yeah, that was a... Yeah, I recognize the kanji for Ura's name on that one.
Well, go ahead and give me a breakdown of some of the more notable bouts that we saw during this Basho.
In day 1, we saw Nishiki Fuji go up against Ryuden. Buden. Usurping every chance of Ryuden regaining his balance before forcing him off the dohyo, crashing into the audience. Unfortunately, Nishiki Fuji should have been keeping a better eye on his own feet. The judges called a mono-ii and reversed the Gyoji's decision, giving the win to Ryuden, as Nishiki Fuji had clearly stepped out of the ring first, and it was just all kind of downhill there for Nishiki Fuji.
Oh, poor Nishiki Fuji.
Another mono-ii was called on day 1 after Kiribayama went up against Tamawashi. At the edge of the dohyo, Tamawashi tries to pull Kiribayama out while Kiribayama is trying to push Tamawashi out. We see Tamawashi doing some fancy footwork on the Tawara before eventually stepping out, while simultaneously, Kiribayama contorts his whole body horizontally, trying to avoid falling before his opponent exits the ring, his foot going sideways on the Tawara. It was too close to call, so the judges made him go again, this time resulting in a Tamawashi victory.
Altogether, I'd say this was probably one of the more exciting first days of a Basho I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. And while I was all sick, it was great. Because I just had the bad news and I wasn't going to be able to go to practice or do anything. I needed something. And that day 1 was it.
Usually the first couple of days, it's like, okay, let's through
kick
these
it into
first
gear.
days and then see who starts to kind of rise to the top. But really, it was full of excitement from day 1.
Yeah. Day 4, we saw another Tora Naoshi when Wakamoto Haru went up against Meisei. At one point, Meisei got his opponent up against the edge, but somehow Wakamoto Haru was able to pull a complete 180 on him, like completely flipping him around. They locked up for a bit before Meisei started driving forward, but right at the edge, Wakamoto Haru goes for an Uchari, backward pivot throw, sending them both crashing to the ground at the same time. The judges were all like, nah, y'all gotta redo this. It did look like they both hit at the same time. In their second round, it's absolutely no contest. Wakamoto Haru chases Meisei out of the dohyo like an angry tabby cat chasing a bear out of his backyard. Day 5, during the match between Sarana Umi and Hokuto Fuji, we get a pretty standard Oshidashi win from Sarana Umi. But what was really funny about this is that Hokuto Fuji ends up falling off the dohyo right onto a Shimpan, ex-Rikishi Miyabayama, now Futagoyama Oyakata, who does this kind of like circular stretch, which the audience found quite amusing.
It was kind of like, "Oi, my aching back."
That was pretty funny.
It was very amusing. I also wanted to mention another cool thing that we got to see on day 5, which was Midori Fuji's fantastic Uchi Muso inner thigh propping twist down against Myogiryu. It's basically where you kind of grab your opponent's knee and, well, twist them down. You just kind of gotta see it. Basically, Midori Fuji forces Myogiryu to bend the knee to him.
Kneel, you peasant!
Yeah!
It's Game of Thrones style.
We get another spectacular show from Midori Fuji on day 6 when he goes up against Hoshoryu. Hoshoryu immediately locks up Midori Fuji's arms, denying him the dangerous grip he desires, driving him to the precipice of the ring. Midori Fuji teeters on the edge for a moment, and the crowd gasps as he recovers and drives forward. Hoshoryu then realizes he's not the one in control anymore, and desperately tries for a few feeble belt grabs as his arms are now jammed up by the wily pit bull. But it was all for naught, as Midori Fuji windmills his candy ass backward in what was officially called a Tsukiotoshi thrust down, but that didn't really look like a thrust down to me.
It looked like a cross between like the Stone Cold Stunner and the Attitude Adjustment.
Yeah, some pro wrestling move. Like, I don't know, like a backward flip, a flip assward, a reverse twisting fuck you.
It was a reverse twisting fuck you. That's the move now. Day 7, we got kind of a cute moment when Hoshoryu went against Abi, both launching off the dohyo into the crowd, and Hoshoryu taking a moment to check in with Abi, see if he was okay after landing on him.
Are you okay there, buddy?
I like that whenever you see him helping each other.
Oh, the face that he made, the face that Abi made in that moment too, was just so precious.
Like, are you okay? That really was. There was genuine concern on his face.
Yeah.
But the real bout to watch on day 7 was Midori Fuji versus Takakeisho. That was a fucking slugfest. A slobber knocker.
Hell yeah, it was.
At one point, they both stopped momentarily, just kind of like square up before Midori Fuji came at Takakeisho with another Harite, but ultimately ended up getting his arms locked up by Takakeisho, who swung his punk ass around to flop his meat off the dohyo with the Kotenage victory. Great resistance from Midori Fuji against the Ozeki, but it just wasn't enough.
It seemed like he was kind of trying to impress the geishas.
They all were
that day.
Seriously, I think when the geishas are watching, they're just like, don't make me look dumb in front of the geishas. Go!
Gotta do my best sumo. The geishas are watching.
Day 8, we see kind of like a half Hinka from everyone's favorite Sekewaki nephew, Hoshoryu, against Sada no Umi, to the sound of crickets from all the usual Hinka haters.
Yeah, right? Like, some people just seem to be really loose with their definition of a Hinka. They were like, oh, well, it was a hit and shift kind of move, but then they'll call that same shit a Hinka when it's someone they don't favor.
Exactly. So, remember Abi and Takayasu?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone was like, well, it was a Hinka. Well, no, it was a half Hinka. It was like a hit and shift.
Yeah, it was like essentially the same thing, but because Abi's not the favorite like Hoshoryu is.
He's not the golden boy nephew.
Yeah, he's not the golden boy. He's not the Yokozuna's nephew.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, at least on day 10, Sada no Umi was able to reestablish how rad he is by delivering an upset to Wakataka Kage.
Yeah, he did. Although, I gotta say, the most impressive Hinka of this Basho might have been Midori Fuji's win against Abi.
Fuck yeah.
Both are Maegashira 3, and both ended day 9 at 5 and 4. This was literally over in 2 seconds. Like, we literally counted 2 seconds.
Like 1001, 1002. And it was over. It was fucking great. It did seem like there were like a shitload of more Hinkas like this Basho. People drinking hella Hinkarade. So, I mean, was it like, since there's no Yokozuna and then there's like just one Ozeki, I mean, were they just like wilding out since the big kids were gone?
Yeah, maybe. That's a good point. I don't know. People are just trying all kinds of goofy shit now that
what?
things
It's
have
funny.
been shaken up.
You hear everybody complaining about the Hinka or, like how controversial it is every fucking tournament. But this time they were just seriously going wilding out with it.
Fucking Hinkas left and right. Just living in downtown Hinkaration.
I love how Sumo Mainichi says they were hinkering.
Hinkering. Well, speaking of upsets, Kota Nowaka caused a huge one against Takakeisho on day 11, knocking him from the lead position, making him neck and neck with Onosho. Onosho then ended up becoming the lead guy until he went up against Takakeisho on day 13 and was properly trounced, putting them both in a 3-way lead with Koto Shoho with 10-3. It was also very satisfying watching Midori Fuji win against Wakamoto Haru on day 12 with an Oshidashi after freaking him out by grabbing his leg. For as many amazing fights as Midori Fuji had this Basho, it's kind of odd he didn't end up with a higher score. He actually ended the Basho at 6-9.
It seems like he's like getting into the same groove as Uda, like displaying some spectacular moves, but just not being able to put that follow through in there.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he's trying out some new stuff, some more interesting things, but he's not quite there yet.
Yeah, but he'll coalesce. He'll get it. I got faith in the pit bull.
Indeed.
But as we mentioned earlier, the leaderboard got mixed up again when Onosho went up against Takakeisho on day 13. Onosho starts out with this aggressive bunny hop mata. But when the action got started, it was a kaiju bash fest that culminated in Takakeisho once again gaining the top spot, shared with Onosho and Koto Shoho, as well as another face full of blood.
Takakeisho, Koto Shoho, and Onosho.
I get knocked down, but I get up again.
Hinka the night away. Hinka the night away. Sorry, continue.
Okay. Last day of the tournament, Maegashira 8 Onosho is in a runner-up position for the lead. He's also up for a Fighting Spirit prize when he goes up against Sekewake Hoshoryu, who is at Nanasho Nanahai 7-7. Onosho clearly manhandles Hoshoryu, driving forward and then pulling him back, immediately knocking him off balance and slapping his ass down. But judges called him Monui, and it was determined that Onosho had engaged in some illegal hair pulling, so the Gyoji's call was reversed. Onosho was denied his prize, and the win was given to Hoshoryu, who gained his Kachikoshi but looked incredibly pained that he had won in such a way.
It didn't even really look like Onosho pulled anything, though.
Is whenever he was doing that slap down, you could see like Hoshoryu's like Chonmage got caught on his fingers as he was slapping down.
No, I don't even think it got caught on his fingers. Like you could see the side of his hand was on the back of Hoshoryu's head, and it was kind of like curved. Like maybe if you looked at it the right way, it looked like maybe he was grabbing something, but then it just slid off the front. Like who the hell keeps calling the fucking hair police on people?
There's a lot of Hansaku.
This has happened a lot this Basho.
Lots of Hansaku this Basho. So, lots of hinkas, lots of hair pulling, and lots of fucking blood.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Brutal.
Either way, like, right after that, Hoshoryu looked like he was gonna cry.
He did.
He did not want to win that way. It was,
No.
And poor Onosho, he just looked like, oh, no.
Well, he was going to get the Fighting Spirit prize if he won that.
And
he
then
thought
nobody
he did
got
it
the Fighting
first,
Spirit
but then, then our last bout of the Hatsu Basho, Koto Shoho versus Takakeisho. Koto Shoho was given the Fighting Spirit prize after Onosho's loss, and was actually up for an Outstanding Performance prize if he won this bout against the Ozeki. Takakeisho, however, was having none of this, and promptly takes his opponent out with a Sukui Nage beltless arm throw, securing his own Yusho victory.
You know, I, for one, welcome our powerful hamster overlord.
You don't see Takakeisho doing moves like that very often, though.
I know. So he's mostly a pusher thruster. Then I keep seeing all of these people on all these Facebook groups, you know, armchair sumo experts living in like Germany and the US and Europe and wherever.
No. What are those little pillows called?
Those mini zabutons?
Yeah, fucking zabuton sumo experts.
But they're always saying shit like, oh, well, Takakeisho doesn't have hinkaku, like they would know, and Takakeisho can't be a yokozuna with this pushing thrusting style because all yokozunas have a belt style.
Luscious lips. Isn't that enough? Isn't that enough?
I think he's got the power. He's got the drive. I think he has grace and dignity. And he's a badass. He's a powerful...
He's been Ozeki for a really long time.
Yeah.
It's been like 4 years. Give the man a fucking yokozuna position. At least for a little while. You know what? He's actually still pretty young. What is he, only like 26 or something?
I thought he was like maybe 30.
Is he?
Yeah.
Let's
see how old Takakeisho is really quick. You guys are gonna have to listen to me Google really hard.
We'll edit it in post.
Okay, Takakeisho Mitsunobu. He is. Oh yeah, you're right. He's 26.
Yes, I was right about
I thought
something.
he was 30.
Oh God, gloating makes me cough.
COVID is not fun.
Don't get COVID. Wear a mask, get vaccinated. Anywho, there were quite a few other notable things about this Basho.
Yeah.
Like
Ura.
Yes.
So Ura has definitely had some interesting moments during this Basho. Mm-hmm. He seems to be adding more of these flourishes into his style of sumo. Day 2, he was going up against Hokuto Fuji. We see him do a bit of like a sweeping gesture toward his opponent after pushing him out, almost like he was serving Hokuto Fuji his loss.
Or like maybe a fancy matador or something.
Just hand him a sandwich. It's a sandwich of loss. But the best one had to be on day 9 when he straight up used the force on Nishiki Fuji. That was fucking badass. Using nothing but some aggressive hand-waving gestures and pure unadulterated will to cause Nishiki Fuji to slip and fall.
Yeah, clearly Ura is some sort of wizard. Like, I know magical wizard hand signs when I see them. And that was some straight up Aleister Crowley shit, okay? I swear, if you give that boy a staff, he'd be stronger than Gandalf.
He's basically Doctor Strange.
Yes, exactly. He's basically Doctor Strange.
Abi did relatively crappy this Basho after winning the November Basho. But, I mean, honestly, it kind of seems like that's kind of like the trend. Like, if you look at the previous Yusho winners immediately preceding him, you have Tamawashi, who won in September, and then only got 6 wins in November. And then you had Ichinoja, who won in July, and then went on to only get 6 wins in September. So, really, Abi ended his post-Yusho tournament a bit better off than his predecessors. And, you know, at least he's got his Kachikoshi.
Yeah, I think he actually ended at like 9-6.
Yeah.
Which was like way better than like Ichinojo and Tamawashi, who I think got 6 and 9.
Yeah, I think they both got Makikoshis after winning their Yusho, something like that.
Exactly. So it's not something you like seeing after a Yusho win, but still.
It's almost like they were riding a wave to win the Yusho, and it's almost kind of like they blow their load. And then the next tournament's just kind of like, you know, the second round chub, where it's not like the full thrust fucking, you know, erection of the Yusho win. It's just kind of like the follow-up.
They're still in the refractory period. That's what it's called. Yes. They're still in their refractory period of blowing their Yusho load.
So Abi's style of sumo is just like, you know, he's just in the second round chub.
Not everyone can have the multiple Yushos like Hakuho did, being the real stallion who mounts the world that he is.
Oh my God, he is. Okay, that is Hakuho's new fucking title, the stallion who mounts the world. We mentioned that
in an earlier episode, if you recall.
Man, COVID has wrecked my fucking memory.
I know.
Okay.
Speaking of Hakuho, he has his Danpatsuki coming up.
Oh my God, what's he gonna look like without his mage?
Oh my God, I can't even imagine it. I bet he's gonna look like really regal and like suave.
Oh,
and
I know. Like Hisei no Sato ended up
debonair.
looking like kind of debonair.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So, okay, so we saw that video that was on, I can't remember if it was an actual JSA video, but it was a Tokoyama doing somebody's hair, and they were, you know, it showed they had like a friar tuck.
Yeah, like I guess for Rikshi with thicker hair, they kind of shave off a circular pattern right on the crown. They don't do that to everybody, though. I know that for sure. They don't do it to all of them.
What was it? So if you look at those old like paintings, those ukiyo paintings, and you see the like old like feudal Japan era, those samurai guys with their chonmage, how they kind of have that male pattern baldness, shaved into the top of their head, and then they
That
have
was
like
the
their
style
little,
back then.
yeah, but that was like, for their helmet and stuff. But some of these rikishi that have like really thick hair, they kind of have like that same thing, but they keep it in the front. Like their front part of their hairline still has the really long hair. They just kind of shave that little friar tuck on top. So I wonder, does Hakuho have that?
I don't think he does.
Because I know Hokuto Fuji doesn't have
And
it.
if he did, then it's grown out by now enough to where it's not going to be like noticeable or anything.
So
I think
whenever he cuts his hair, so that's what I'm wondering, because you never see any of these ex-rikishi when they have their danpatsuki. They don't have like longer hairstyles or like little like kind of emo hairs. It's always just shorter hair.
I bet Shodai is going to though.
Oh,
when
whenever he has his
his
danpatsuki, he'll just have his emo hair.
He's gonna have some like fucking flock of seagulls shit or something. but Hakuho is going to be like, it's going to be a huge event. We know this. It's going to be huge.
Oh, that's going to be fucking awesome. I'm still thinking about their dumb haircuts, though. Okay, so speaking of Takakeisho, because Takakeisho and Onosho, whenever they had their little showdown, somebody posted pictures of them from college. Like whenever they whenever they were doing sumo in their college days, and they both had like shaved heads.
Yeah.
So it just makes me think: are rikishi the type of guys that only grow their hair out for the ceremonial purpose of being a rikishi?
Okay, I'm not.
Do they just want to have crew cuts and shaved heads? And
I'm not going to say I don't like shaved heads, because on some people it is nice, but the majority of the time I prefer long hair.
And the chonmage, I mean, that's
especially on guys.
Yeah. The chonmage is a classic look, but not everyone could just keep their mage.
I wonder if there's ever been a rikishi who did want to keep the chonmage after they retired.
Tomi Saikai.
Really?
Yeah, because he's got that YouTube channel. He still got his chonmage.
What?
Yeah, and he just kind of, he might have gotten it cut off and then just grew it back out again or something. But he's like always posting videos of himself doing like backflips in the park and like doing shikos and
Oh, okay, I think I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, he still got his little mage, but he wears it in like the fucking, like the lower rank kind of way. He doesn't wear the oicho.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining. Okay, I have seen that then.
So, but he's the only one that I really know of. But there's probably some guys out there like that. I wonder if there's like some Yakuza enforcers. They're like, yeah, wear your mage, dude.
Oh my god. I do want to see more like non-traditional hairstyles after the danpatsuki. I want to see some like fucking, like a nice fade.
Yeah.
Or like
fuck it, just get a mohawk,
Yeah, give him a mohawk. Why not? Fucking just slap some blue hair dye on that shit.
So if I was ever a pro rikishi, and I know in some fucking like parallel dimension, maybe I was living the dream, but if I had my danpatsuki, I would get that fucking, that Pawnee warrior haircut, where you have the mohawk and then like braid it all down in the back.
Like what was that movie that we watched recently?
Oh, what's that? Eli Whip, or no, what do they call him? Wounded Wolf on the English. Yeah, so there's
the English. That's what it was called. The English. Oh my god, that shit was so good.
So if I had like the oicho, and then like I retired, had to get the danpatsuki, I would get the mohawk and then the little braids down in the back.
That movie was basically about your great great grandpa.
Yeah. Well, if
anybody wants to know what Matt's great great grandpa was like, go watch The English.
It's on Amazon Prime. And they actually speak Pawnee, and they don't make us look like assholes. So I was like, cool. Yeah. All right.
Anyway, do we have any other like actual sumo related stuff to talk about?
We just kind of flew off about chonmages and tokoyamas and
COVID
hakuho
gives you ADHD.
Yeah, it's strange, but seriously, the Hatsu Basho was an oasis of love and healing light in this whole fucking
and violence
ocean.
And blood.
Oh yes, beautiful violence and blood. But this whole COVID thing, this whole being sick thing, coming into 2023 like a goddamn wrecking ball, Miley Cyrus style. It was rugged. It was really
sucked
fucking hard.
Ass and balls and taint.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
All at the same time. But you know what?
And both cheeks.
But we're coming out of it, damn it. We're coming out on top. We're gonna win this fucking thing. There are more challenges on the horizon, but you know what? We're up for them.
Yeah.
And this is just us, our comeback show after being just completely struck down like the sodomites we are.
I think
I just want an excuse to say that.
You just want an excuse to say the word sodomite. All right, well, you know where to find us on the social meds. It's Sumo Punx, spell Punx with an X. If you're on the Twitter, it's Punx Sumo, because I fucked it up.
And I'm going to be on there like talking shit. I couldn't talk shit on social media while I was sick, but I'm coming for all of you.
And then, what else? Oh, yeah, if you like this shit, give us a fucking rating, man. It helps other people find the show and enjoy it themselves. We got a Ko-Fi donation page. We missed a lot of work, so feel free to donate to that.
Oh, hell yeah. And if you want something to show for it, go to our Redbubble and buy some fucking shirts. We got Jake Cullison from Ohio Sumo Dayton fucking sporting the black metal Hakuho shirt. I got super excited and had to post pictures and shit.
Yes,
it was fucking great.
It was great.
He is metal. He's metal.
Did we hit all of our outro points?
We hit all of our outro points.
I can't think anymore. I can't believe we did this whole ass episode in one sitting.
Oh,
Jesus
fuck yeah.
fucking Christ. All right, signing off.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.